Welcome to another edition of the Max Tribune Salon Sports Show, and I think we give viewers them a little bit of time for getting themselves together. Very sorry for coming up late due to some technical reasons, but today we get a jam-packed studio, a lot of people, black people dominating. We also get the president for ANSA, we get the coach for Sierra Leone, the manager for Cape Verde, and Kali, as you camera small.
Oh God!
Oh, that's and as usual, Emmanuel in the studio, and we get Dopei, and we get one small Pekin. All right. Today we will talk about the ANSA competition where just ended yesterday with Sierra Leone winning against South Sudan by 2-0, thanks to Zara and Simisatu for the goals, and also Cape Verde win the championship for the first time just 3 years after they formed the team, thanks to the two top goal scorers in the team, Hassan and John, were happen for provide the goal. Well, the Zimbabweans they reply with one penalty goal. That was a good decision, but they're able for catch up because Emmanuel be all over the field. Well, that got changed into small. So we have Banadia. I'm just talking about the match yesterday. Emmanuel was playing, he was interceding. That's behind it so they can win. And also we'll be talking about the World Cup. As you know, the big finals at 2. So winner Australia, winner Africa at 3 a.m. 3 p.m. Winner at 2 a.m. Now, the big final Argentina versus I don't forget
France.
Argentina versus
I don't got no business in the final. We don't come along. The guy don't put money back. He say He say he believes say Argentina go win, but we know say Drake Nama we get bad luck. Anyways, that's all in the Sierra Leone Premier League with plenty more inside the show. You go get this afternoon as alone and tonight in Australia. One more time, make I welcome me guests and welcome to the show, Bernard.
Welcome to the show, guys. Emmanuel on my left, Michael, Kali, Ibby, and Alpha. I'm babysitting at the same time. Let me try the hard top,
All right,
and
welcome
good.
to the show.
Yeah, thanks,
Ah,
Magdalene.
you're welcome. Welcome to the show, Dopei, the big guest commentator in Australia.
Yes, wait until we get beef. No, they call me that first. They call me first. They put Emmanuel behind me. Now this guy, but put her now. Now me they save you. I don't take it job. I don't want to let you say it.
I know.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's welcome Alpha. Alpha always following the show every Sunday, no matter where it is. He always follow us. Welcome to the show, Alpha, for the first time and ongoing. We're for the get you now. Welcome, the manager or the president or chairman for Cape Verde.
Yes, Magdalene, thanks, man. Big shout out to the Tribune show. It's an interesting show, so I'm always happy to be on board. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Alpha, and congratulations on your first trophy.
Many more to come.
Emmanuel, they jump you and they go to Cali. Cali, you win the trophy and you took it home. Just to sleep with it. Welcome to the show, Cali. Another fantastic player. Whenever I see Cali play, I just think about somebody where me not too like I didn't call his name, but welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. We can't drink from this cup yet. Oh, sorry.
All right, we got so many babysitters tonight. Welcome to the show, Coach Ibby, and congratulations for defending your title. One, congratulations for winning the trophy as a player with Cape Verde.
Oh, pleasure. So happy for that. I'm so happy.
Yeah, Coach Ibby getting third appearance in the show tonight. Emmanuel, to you now. I pass the mic. It's going
And to the viewers out there and the panelists, guests, I say una kusha, una kaba, una adu.
Emmanuel. All right, so okay. All right, then straight to the show. First of all, Bernard, let me ask you this question. Tell us your feeling as the championship climaxed yesterday.
Oh, Magdalene, I'm short of words. It was momentous. And I want to thank the community, the teams, everyone, including you. The African Cup, I've been involved in the African Cup for a very long time. I just came in with the Zimbabwe team. I was the coach. I was everything. And a lot of people were saying, why don't you give up? Zimbabwe losing every minute. But I'm a man with a big heart. Small man, but with the heart of an elephant, because I always told them this is an inheritance for our children. Because one day they will say, why is it there's no Zimbabwe team here? But anyway, somehow, I never thought I would be the president of the African Cup. But as things went by and everything happening, with my experience, I became the African president. The African Cup used to be very violent. I don't have to go back to the scenes. And I'm so happy when in the past 5 years and in the last edition, everything was so smooth, no violence. And I want to thank the community. Peaceful. The game last on Saturday. What a game. Great game between two great teams. And I want to congratulate Cape Verde. They deserve it. They worked hard for it. I've been following them every time, seeing how they were building up. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I wanna seriously, they set the standards and they deserve it. If Zimbabwe had won the cup, I come from Zimbabwe, they would have robbed these guys the cup. Because Cape Verde deserved the cup from the bottom of my heart. And congratulations to Cape Verde and congratulations to the community for putting up a very good show. And look, people said when South Sudan are out, the crowds would go down, but no,
Yeah.
we had big crowds.
Yeah,
Excellent.
that
Cape
was a
Verde,
record-breaking
Zimbabwe.
crowd I saw
Yeah,
yesterday.
Was
yeah,
it? Wow.
yeah. Seriously, this thing is going very far. Very, very, very far. And let's keep united and let's keep going forward. This thing is going to get us somewhere as Africans. We got the respect now.
Yeah.
We got the respect.
Definitely.
Everyone, I remember. The problem is I deleted my Facebook post when I became president. I said we want these people to come to us, not us going to them. You can see how many people are coming to us now. With the junior tournament coming, look at the people who were there,
Hmm.
different cultures. So I want to thank the African community for the unity, for the oneness, and the cooperation and the peace. That's all I can say. And the football is beautiful. Kali, that was excellent. Right when the right win. I know the Zimbabweans who want to take you to Canberra, to Melbourne over the Easter. Yeah. Ibby, excellent. Emmanuel, good management. Alpha, I don't know what to say. Dopey, good supporter. Magdalene, I thank you again.
Don't be a good commentator as well.
Commentator.
And I know my other commentator is just a little bit below 11 years. Kevin
Yes.
is fantastic. The boy is fantastic. He's gonna be a good commentator. He will also want to be a player. So I want to say thanks to Kevin. I know the mom is watching now
Well.
because Antigika is always watching. That was good from Kevin. Bernard, so what was it like hosting this tournament this year? Coming back from COVID and getting additional teams and from 16 to 20, the increased number of teams that led to so much amount of spectators coming to the venue every day. Although a lot of people will say South Sudan gets in the crowd, but we saw a different turnout yesterday.
Look, for us, we always wanted to have more teams because it covers a lot of communities. A lot of communities still want to be part of the African Cup. And getting to the 20 teams was always our aim for men. And now we had 6 under 14, 6 under 16, and 6 women. So we had 38 teams. So you can see how the tournament is growing. This is a community tournament. So the more we are, the merrier.
Okay. All right, Bernard, I'll allow you to rest and let me turn the mic now to the guys themselves.
Thank you.
Coach
Thank
Ibby,
you.
I'll start with you. You are the first winner of the day and the last winner of the day as well. Tell us your experience. First of all, tell us the feeling, to defend your title successfully. You went unbeaten because for me, the match against Congo, we understood was cheated, and then they paid the price of losing the points. So it means you went unbeaten in the tournament again. So tell us the feeling, how it feels like defending your title successfully.
It feels rewarding for all the hard work being put behind the scenes to make this team a strong team. It's a lot of those little things in between that the people outside don't see, where it comes to the lights. But it's definitely it's very amazing feeling to win it both as a coach and as a player in the same day. Because if you look at the other end of it, if you had two losses in the same day, how distraught that would be. So definitely fortunate to be on the happy side and win both as a coach and a player.
All right. So you know, we are on the sideline getting the girls ready, preparing them, but at the same time, you're also thinking about the next match, which was very much important as well. So,
Yeah.
how does that moment looks like for you to decide
Well,
between the girls'
yeah.
final and the men's final, which you have a major role to play?
Well, yeah. The only thing was prior to the schedule before, I was fortunate that sometimes we had to play 11 o'clock, and there was a game at 3 o'clock or 1 o'clock or 5 o'clock. So I didn't have too many experiences of the clashes ahead. The fortunate thing was we were also able to win by big margins. So as of yesterday, it was a challenging experience because we were up 1-0 and the game was in the balance. Um, However, the good thing was that the girls held it together, as they've been in this situation before, that they can hold it together, and I'm able to delegate some of the responsibilities to the touchline staff, and then was fortunate to get the win in the end and win it all.
All right. So tell us about your strategies. What makes Coach Ibrahim different from others?
Um, Well, the thing is, it's my day-to-day job. My day-to-day job to assess talent, identify talent, and try to mold it together to make a masterpiece of a team. So it's not just a sort of a job where you do it overnight. There's a lot of things that go into it to see um, can these players connect, gel well as a team, and it's a lot of experimenting and putting their guys. You want to talk to? Yeah. So yeah, so it's a lot of those things in preparation, which I value a lot, and that's been the key to my success being back-to-back champions this year.
All right, so I'll allow you to rest and I'll come back and ask you more questions. Let me join Kali, the man for the first time in the show. Kali, tell us your feeling um, when lifting that trophy. Kali don't freeze.
The old phone.
Let's join Alpha. Okay, Alpha, um, as the president or chairman for Cape Verde, the dream was to win the trophy. The dream was to set up a team that will make a difference in the tournament. And you guys came, you only had one draw, and that was against Nigeria that was the only game you score one goal. As the chairman, what does this mean for Cape Verde as a team?
Thanks for having me again. This one here, no matter how I speak about this thing here, really, I can't really express my feelings. You know what I mean? So this whole thing started. This whole Cape Verde journey started back in 2020. When when we decided to bring this team together, and at the time, it took some time before we can get in. So we only had like 3 weeks. I think about 4 to 3 weeks to prepare to put the boys together for the first time. You know what I mean? And then, the second year we went on, finishing our third place for that first year. And then the second time again, we improve more, trying to improve in every aspect that we can. Then this year, 2022, I think that was the landmark for us. And we had the goal, we had short-term goals and we had long-term goals. So at the end of the day, we now achieve our goal, which is to win this trophy. You know what I mean? And, we're going to continue to keep working, and hopefully we can win more trophies to come. But really, it's been a pleasure, man. Really, I have to say. And kudos to the boys putting on 100%. The boys prepared since day one. As you can see, a lot of teams were struggling with training, but for us, the boys always show up in training. So this is a championship team. you go to the training pitch and you see all the boys putting 100%. This is how you know that these boys were very much committed. So we are very proud of our boys, and we hope that we can bring more trophies home.
Okay. So I know you're always present there. You only missed one match, and we want to say condolence to you for the loss of your in-law.
Yeah.
Thankfully you are back and back stronger. You win the trophy. So tell us, how was it like yesterday watching the match and seeing your boys stepping up their game and ensuring that they do not only attack well but also defend well. We'll come to the players. For me, the kid Rahim was one of my best player in the whole tournament. I just like what he was doing. I like the way he positioned himself. He know what he was doing. He knows exactly what to do when he collected the ball and how to distribute it. But tell us what was it like seeing the boys performing to expectation?
Just to talk about Abdulrahim, now this kid, when we bring him in on board 2021, the goal wasn't even to play him. Like this kid was just coming just to be on the bench. But after the experience that we had against Sierra Leone, and we decided to do some bit of changes, and this kid came in and he just performed to the best of his abilities, and he just took that spot. And since then, no one can take it off him. You know what I mean? Look, these boys that we have there, the boys are committed. The boys know what they're doing. We don't have to teach them how to play football. You know what I mean? We just lucky to have these boys on board. You know what I mean? So they know what to do. You know what I mean? I know they've been saying, all due respect to Zimbabwe, you know what I mean? They've said Zimbabwe have the strongest defense. But I think our defense too, we only conceded 7 goals the entire tournament. So that tells you how good these boys are. For every position, we work hard just to make sure we have multiple players for each position so that we can get, you know what I mean, get the job done. And the boys did exactly what we asked them to do. Kudos to the
All right.
coaches, to Uncle and Mayor. They were all behind this.
All right. Okay, I'll come to you again. But Kali, your phone freeze. No, not the three to extend as Aloide. Australia, not give me bad name.
It's a new house. It's a new house.
All right,
Nothing
so
here is set.
new house, new trophy as well. Kali, you win. You are one of the successful players in the school, and your role.
Actually, not really.
No, what I'm saying, you are part of the success,
Oh, it's
and
frozen again.
it's giving us a big smile. Okay, Emmanuel, let me come with you now. Emmanuel, you ran
Phone is
away
outdated.
and you never supported me in the commentaries because of Cape Verde. But no offense. Emmanuel, tell us about your experience in the tournament for this third year in a row, and you guys did extremely well winning the trophy. So let's have you say.
And Magdalene, thank you once again for having me. And first and foremost, and I want to say thank you to Mr. Bernard, the organizer of this tournament. And we see every year by the flavor, the trend of the tournament is changing. It's becoming more interesting, more competitive as the years are folding by. And I remember when we came in as Cape Verde in 2020, it was a tournament that wherein we just came in to showcase that we can play football. We were underrated as Cape Verde, and we proved them wrong. 2021 was a year when we wanted to lift this trophy, but the might of COVID proved himself. But here we are again in 2022. We say, oh, COVID, where is thy strength? Where is thy victory? Finally, we conquered COVID, and today we are being seen as a champion of the African Nations Cup New South Wales. One difference I saw throughout this year, Magdalene, in the tournament is the amount of security being mounted. This final was a final of difference. And first and foremost, Mr. Banner, congratulations towards your security from the entrance gate. I see it was properly manned. This year we came in and we were searched and make sure that nothing foreign was taken into the playing ground. And we all felt safe when we were there. And congratulations for that. Some of these things people neglect them, but they are very important. They are very important, and I appreciate what you guys put in place. And we came in also in the area of the officiating, and along the years, but we see the organizers are trying to man up and manage well the officiating staff. This year, particularly, we see some amount of better referees compared to the past 2 years that we've been in the tournament. Although, like yesterday, Mr. Banner reproved me right. I had to go to him and say, Mr. Banner, what's going on with your referee? He asked me, what should I do here? There's nobody else who will go on to it. It's you who run to because you are the father of the tournament. But it was a good match, and we appreciate the finals. For me, I think it's one of the best finals that I've seen so far in this tournament. It was like a final of equals because Zimbabwe put up a very good resistance. We put up a very good fight. And for all those that were there yesterday, till the dying minute, they will tell you that it was an entertaining finals, whereby anything can happen within any seconds in the game. And that's what we want to see in football. Not one-sided football. When Zima on the ball, you enjoy football. When Cape Verde on the ball, you enjoy good football.
Now,
So
Emmanuel,
it was
when Zim on the ball, you became triggered. You're only happy when Cape Verde on the ball. And you know one thing about the tournament, the whole commentary team was bashed. That's you know when Zim missed the ball,
No.
shout, stop goal! And when it's Cape Verde, it will be like go.
I just
So next year, what we'll do? Next year, we'll plan it well, and we'll talk to Bernard. We get a commentator from every country, so everyone will be represented. So Dopey and that my little commentator, they have this Cape Verde and Sierra Leone blood. We don't want free and fair commentary, free and fair.
Well said, Magdalene. Well said, Magdalene. And to be sincere, I really appreciate my brother again, Dopey. He came on board at the right time.
Yeah.
And whenever Cape Verde is playing Magdalene,
I can't find
you can't find me. I'm totally gone. I'm truly sorry about that. So on my own side, to be sincere, it was a very good tournament, and we hope to see better structures being put in place in the foreseen years. And we want to say thanks to the organizers.
All right, Emmanuel, I'll come to you again and ask you about those structures you want to see in the next competition. Because for yesterday, everybody was applauding the referee, but we'll come to that. Let me come to you, Dopey, the biggest commentator. Thank you very much. I truly appreciate your efforts. You saved me a lot because you know what? To run commentary and at the same time filming, it takes a lot. Sometimes I'll even miss some action when it's me alone. But you coming in and the little boy Kevin, it was a plus for our job, and that was why we did well yesterday. So Dopey, what's your take about the grand final? You only witnessed the male final because you are interested in Cape Verde. You missed ours.
No.
Coach Ibby will fine you.
That's a big fine.
Merit points.
Let me explain.
No, please, one ASIC sneaker for you, Coach Ibby.
Coming to collect.
That's it.
Let me explain. I was at work yesterday. Yeah, and then Maggie told me I cannot miss the male final. You understand? So I tried my best to miss. I wasn't gonna go because I finished work very late. So yesterday I had to try very hard to make it because I didn't want to disappoint her. I know how much effort she's put into this, and just to help her get through the finish line was something that I wanted to be part of. And I also enjoy, this is something, I don't like camera, but I enjoy just my voice being behind the scenes. People that take notes from everywhere in the world get to see what kind of a talent Maggie has, and she displays it because everyone from everywhere watches it. I got friends messaging me saying, "Bro, what a grand final," and they're saying you're a biased commentator. I said, "Of course." Alan Shearer's biased. When Man United is playing, Alan Shearer's for Man United. That's what it
Oh
is.
yeah.
You have to pick your team. Unfortunately, my
You
team
know, I
was
watched
Yeah,
the game
choice.
today. That's what I knew.
yeah. My team was my boys Cape Verde, but hats off to Zimbabwe. They did excellent. They hang in there, played amazing football. I think that second half, I don't know what they said. Coach player, Banja or Manja,
Jamba,
he,
Jamba. Yeah.
sorry, I think as a coach player, he's someone that's experienced in Australian football, so he's got knowledge in terms of how to get the boys going. So whatever he said in that second half, they came out, they were outstanding. Cape Verde, my boys, they played amazing, amazing football. But I felt like that second half, they were, they held back a bit. They weren't attacking as much. I think if Zimbabwe had little strikers, they had three chances and they managed to score one, which was a penalty, of course. But for Cape Verde, we had so much chances, and I think somehow we missed where the goal was. Um, Things like this in football, some teams you don't let that happen. You need to finish everything. And I was shouting. I lost my voice. I was shouting yesterday. I was, commentators on the shout pass the supporter
Because they follow the play. He was following the
there.
play.
So
and
that's how you
and he
say
was
that.
in the commentary booth commentating while also motivating the fans to sing. He will just
Yeah,
start something and they'll follow him. So that
we were doing
was
everything. We were doing everything. No, I enjoy it. You know, Mr. Bernard, I hope next season I have a job now in the committee as a full time
You want a job with the team.
commentator.
You've always been a Zim guy. So, but
Yeah,
at
of
the
course.
moment, I'm not speaking for Zim. I'm sure Magdalene brought me here as the
yeah, as the
president
chair, as the president, you
of the
have no
African
business
Cup.
with Zim. In
I
this
mean,
show, you
look,
have no business with Zim.
yeah, I look. I come from Zim. I have
Yeah.
a soft spot for Zim, but at the same time, I'm representing everyone. I like Cape Verde. The boys know. I know a lot of boys from Cape Verde, even Ibby, and David. I knew them when they were playing for Zim way back before they started playing for Sierra Leone.
Oh
People
yeah.
don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, we
people
all
don't
played for
know.
Zim.
Yeah, look,
Fairfield.
let me tell
Fairfield.
you something. Let me tell you something about Zim. Most of these players you see today, they're can you hear me?
Yes,
Yep.
go ahead.
Most of these players you see today, they've played for Zim first before they played for their countries. Ibby is one of them. He can't deny. And that's why I know he was called Okocha. And Deft
Yeah.
Cabo is one of them. Then we got the iconic James.
Yeah, James, the
Yes.
Yep.
injured
And
James.
Shear.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Emmanuel Peters. We
Yeah.
Zim gives a lot of because of when I was there at Zim when I was still in charge, I wanted to give a lot of youngsters opportunities. You know, James, Emmanuel Peters, they all came from there. Even the about 6 players from South Sudanese team or the twins, Moki, Chan, Robert, all those started with Zim. And the Cameroonian captain, Cameroon was a good team. The
Yeah.
Cameroonian captain started with Zim too.
Hmm.
Yeah, that number 10.
Mm.
Yeah.
There's so many, I can count a lot of players because I always wanted to give youngsters an opportunity, but I don't know now. They've got their own policies which they have to follow. Since I'm now the president of the African Cup, I'm not much into Zim now.
All right, Bernard. We'll come to you again, but let me just take this interview from some of the happy winners.
Thank you.
You won the trophy for Sierra Leone again, the second time consecutively. How do you feel?
I feel amazing. It was a great opportunity representing the new South Sudanese girls. It was amazing to have them come to semi-finals and being able to come fight us out there.
What's your experience like in this year's tournament?
It was amazing. There were so many good challenges against other teams, and it just felt different when you're on the field.
So, as the captain, what's your expectation for next season?
Next season, another win. We're coming out stronger and stronger each year. Last year we won, this year we win. Hopefully next year another one.
Thank you. Finally, your dream came true, and Cape Verde has been crowned champions for 2022. What does this mean for you?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an amazing feeling, and I think you're taking me out of the moments right now, but it's a good feeling, and it's beautiful. I can't explain how I feel right now, but it's been 3 years in the making.
Tough match. Zimbabwe actually upped their game, and it was difficult, especially in the second half. What's the magic in changing the formation and the system?
We didn't change nothing. We just play our style, and to be honest, Cape Verde, we know it was they're a very good team. They're very tough, but we just keep our composure, and it shows. We won, we win.
So, what's this victory mean for the community, Cape Verde?
Cape Verde, we're still. This is just the beginning. There's more to Cape Verde than this. Well done. We thank everyone.
Your message to the fans.
To the fans, thank you guys for showing up, and we love you guys. This is just the beginning, and we're gonna keep going.
Congratulations, John. Your team win the trophy. How do you feel?
Oh, great. I feel great. I don't know.
You also got the award for best player of the tournament. What does this mean for you?
It feels great because I was playing so
How does it feel like winning the championship?
Oh, it feels great. Like history. That's all I can say. History.
All right. Well, that's one improvement. I'll ask ANSA to make next season. So please tell the DJ to allow us to do some interviews. That was really noisy. But I hope Bernard will help us with that. Maybe we might get a press box where we can do interview with the background. Yeah, very quiet interviews. That would be wonderful. But let's hear from you guys. Coach Ibby, you've heard from Zara, a fantastic player, a team leader. I saw you rating the players earlier today, and that was genuine opinion, genuine ratings. So tell us, how do you think, how do you feel about your players, their commitment and all, and what's next for Sierra Leone team?
In terms of the players we have, I feel that a lot of the players they developed through the course of pre-season and also in the tournaments very well. They overachieved, I believe. This year, I brought in the objective was to bring in a lot of youth. I brought in some players with a lot that were young and talented, which I believe that really sets a good culture for the team because they worked around the players that had been there last year, and they came in and they did a hell of a job. So I'm proud that all came together for us.
All right. So let's look now into your formation and system. There was a game you had to use limited players, like I think it was 8 or 9 players, and that was against Congo with no substitutes on the bench. So what's the strategies? What were you thinking? For some people, we are saying Coach Ibby should have cancelled or asked for an extension of time, but we know the African Cup is well organized to a point that you can't ask for extension because it's this week and this week. So what was on your mind at that time?
Well, the good thing is the result was only 2-1, and we had a chance to equalize it at the end. The The strategy with that is to defend as a unit and to take our times to attack. Um, we were fortunate to keep the game in a close contest. But the way we had to work was we used the technical based players to build around that, and then the players around to work in defense and then support and attack. So it was more of working as a unit because you have limited numbers. You can't send too many people to attack, and then you've got to defend as a team. So that was what went into the strategies for that particular game.
All right. I'll come to you again, Ibby, but let's ask Alpha. You had from your captain and one of your technical staff for their aims and objective which they achieved, but also it's just the beginning for Cape Verde. So tell us what should we expect in the coming years. Okay, thank you, baby.
Man. Yeah, Cape Verde, it's not just about playing African Cup. We Cape Verde, we have other goals that we want to achieve, and there are a lot of things that in the background that we're gonna be doing, which I don't want to share here at the moment. But yeah, just to give you one thing, one of the coaches will be starting his own, youth academy where he can coach kids and all that stuff. So anyone who have their kids can bring them down at Frame Park starting from tomorrow.
So is that a clue? Is that a clue that Cape Verde will be presenting an under 14 and 16 team next year?
Definitely, we're working towards that. This is something that I've already discussed with some of the coaches. Even Coach Ibby can testify to that. We're working, we're looking at under 18s. I think we might start with something like that. Which Mr. Bernard, I think the initiative that we spoke about, you can bring in at least 4 or 5 players to play in the first team if need be, which I think is something very, will give the young guys opportunities to play. So yeah, definitely, we're looking at bringing in a female team next year as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so there are plenty
Are
things.
you taking our coach? I'm very much interested to know if you are taking our coach.
No. Anything for Sierra Leone, we're not gonna interfere. Definitely. You know what I mean? We're gonna support as much as we can, but you know what I mean. As they say, we're not fit.
No, it's nothing about fighting.
We'll try now. Yeah. We want to work with the community.
All right.
We'll try. We'll see what we can do.
No worries. Dopey, technically, because you're also an athlete, a professional athlete, still waiting for your first Commonwealth invite. But tell us, as a professional, watching yesterday matches, because you watched the female match online via the streaming. How will you assess the performance of the players in the finals? Hey, Dopey, are you getting us?
Dopey's asleep.
Your mic is off.
It's mute.
Yeah, he muted himself. I cannot do anything for my side. All right, I'll ask that question. Emmanuel, how will you assess the performance of the players?
And Magdalene, as Leon mentioned, the competition is going more intense and more interesting years after years. For me, yesterday it was an outstanding performance put up by the females. And sincerely, Magdalene, like the female football is getting the momentum that we're expecting to have. Years by, we were seeing where in the female team or the female teams we are playing, and there were only a few spectators around. But yesterday we saw that it was a bit attended compared to the past years when it started. and it's gaining some amount of attention now, and we hope that we'll pick up from this point.
Do you think the time, the kickoff time was one of the factors for the turnout of the fans? Because previously the female match will start like 1 p.m. and a lot of people will be at work.
Yes, Magdalene, I think that is one of the key factors that is affecting the attendance of the female team. But take into consideration that the facilities being available and the time frame to which this competition is being run, you just have to prioritize for a start now the male games to play after 3 p.m. and the juniors and female to play earlier on from 9 and till 1 p.m. Then I know that later in the future, like as I was telling you, by when it has gained that full momentum, then we are being able to have more community field. You can allocate them to play late matches.
Okay.
So that's what I'm foreseeing. That there will come a time the female matches will go as a par with that of the male matches because it will become more interesting and attractive to the eyes of the community. But this is just a landmark that we are seeing now. For me, what I watched yesterday being displayed by these ladies, it's very outstanding. It's very encouraging, Magdalene. Both teams, South Sudan and Sierra Leone, it was an outstanding performance. And one key thing I highlighted, Magdalene, there was a lady that was playing two for South Sudan. She can throw this ball like a man. For long distance, I pick up. I told Coach Ibby, I said, bro, this lady can throw very well. Most guys cannot throw perfectly like that lady. I was like, this tournament is taking a new phase.
So
we need to be serious of what
how do
we
you
do.
guys call such people in Sierra Leone? Ahmed Long to go.
Ahmed Long to go. so now I would say that is Aminata Long to go.
Okay. All right. Let's hear from Kali. It's been quiet for a while. We hope the phone is okay now, or the computer, or whatever.
Hey,
So,
you.
Kali, as
Yeah.
a player, how does it feel like winning the trophy yesterday?
Wow. Mr. Banner, you want to help me?
Kali, please don't cry. We don't have tissue here. Please don't cry.
Kali, come on.
Don't
Because
be
brothers
emotional.
know.
That's two words, Kali, or one or three.
Yeah. Let me help me. You can help me out. Because how many times have I gone to you crying?
No, I can see. No, look, Kali had a fantastic match on the right, and I could see he was overwhelmed. You know, it's exciting. I know Kali came in playing for Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast had potential, right? But I know where they went wrong. I'm not gonna say it now. But Kali went into a team. He went to Sierra Leone, but not the best Sierra Leone team. Then he played for Zim in the Easter tournament where he was a bomb. And Zim people wanted him, but obviously he had to go for Cape Verde. And he got his, am I correct, Kali? Your first African Cup medal. And you deserve it. Because Kali came in as the young player for Ivory Coast. You know, Ivory Coast is this Ibby, David Cabo, Lega, but they were not getting young players. But when I started seeing Kali coming in or saying, oh, okay, they're trying to get young players, I knew Ivory Coast wouldn't go far. But when I saw Kali coming in, Kali was the youngest player they attracted at that time. And he has so much potential. And I saw Kali developing. I saw him developing, and I'm happy for him.
Oh, okay.
Medal. Well done, Kali.
All right. But Kali, Bernard has stepped in for you, but we want to hear that feeling What's the feeling like winning the trophy for the first time? And you even ask the team that you sleep with the trophy, and they approve that. That means a lot. So just tell us the feeling.
The feeling is unreal. You know, finally got one of these for so long, so long. I always say this to myself. I'm the best African player without this trophy. So
Yeah.
that's how long it has been.
That's a
No, I've
good
been saying that to
mentality.
myself for a long time now. So this year, I don't think I can
Yeah.
say that to myself. Or next year, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's been overwhelmed. It's been hard work. A lot disappointed. You know, a lot of that. And then last year, I had the courage to defend it.
All right. Kalias, you want to talk something so, but last year is top. I know say
Vandy,
it
Fode, come Kevat. I goes, it's only best when I leave Ivory Coast Sierra Leone first. And then from there, we say I go. And then unfortunately, it didn't work out at Sierra Leone. I ended up going to the boys at Cape Verde, and which was only one thing in the mind was to win it. Because the
okay.
team here in Cape Verde this year is
Mm.
a lot better than what I had in Sierra Leone. So this year was a lot better, to be honest, and probably it was even a lot better in general because I had more goals this year, more assists this year, and then I ended up getting the prize that I've always been chasing for a long time. So my overwhelm is up the roof, you know.
Okay.
And
All
as
right.
we Salon people say, the God picking had the blessing.
So
So
where the
since the
cup
picking
now,
card,
Kali? Where the cup?
the cup it is next to me.
Because we dey check them for the cup.
The man they go
The
support
cup is
football.
next to
You
me.
don't get my
It
left
is-
hand.
It, it is next to me.
The man they go about to wash him out to the cup. You don't get my left hand.
Carly, can I say some? Carly, can I say something?
Yeah, you can.
This was not your first trophy. Remember, the Zim boys borrowed you for the Easter tournament where you
No,
were born. You
that
got the
one,
trophy.
Mr. Bernard, that one doesn't count. This is the African tournament I'm talking about.
Okay, all
You
right,
know,
all right, okay.
All right.
18 to be honest, but I've never won the African tournament.
Yeah, that's
You
good.
know,
But
so this is my first ever one, which I don't think anything's gonna block me from now.
yeah,
So
yeah,
Argentina can win, France can win.
that's
I got my own trophy. I don't care right now.
All right. So I will ask you one important question, but
Yeah, that's it for me.
because your internet is skipping or fouling you, I'll just ask this: is Kali returning back to Ivory Coast?
Internet they weak. My answer no
Caught up
answer.
again. Caught up again with the
Internet
internet.
no
Emmanuel
answer.
answer.
Uh,
Emmanuel
uh, Dopey, I was asking for
You
your
hear me?
assessment.
yeah.
Now we hear you. Now we hear you, Kali. You want to come on board? It all lost. All right. So Dopey, what's your assessment about the grand finale yesterday?
Yeah, see the enemy the rape walk. I want answer question. Everything just shut down. Now, but yeah, look, I would like to say big thank you to the organizers, especially Mr. Bernard and the people that you work with behind the scenes. Like I said, in every sport or in everything that we do, there's always someone behind the scenes, and you don't get to see what they do, and they never get their flowers. It's always the people that are there that are shining. So thank you guys for doing all that. You deserve your flowers. We'll give you your flowers someday. I was watching the women's one where I was at work, you know, and I think from the previous years when you guys were trying to have this idea and this concept of bringing women football in African community was seen as why, but I think they also deserve to enjoy themselves and play football. You know, if everyone was doing it, why can't we do it? So I think from where you guys started to where you are now, it's been a massive stepping stone, especially having people like Ibby as a coach investing in all these ladies, putting amazing training for them, and also, organizing a team that has won it back to back. the guy in team, it was past the Avengers. They will beat them. So
Sorry, Magdalene, I might forget. Can
Yeah.
look what you've done for us with these videos? I'm just gonna attach them to people who help us. If you won't mind, seriously, this is gonna be huge. So I'll ask you to. This is fantastic. I didn't know you had all these videos.
I was doing my job.
I think
Yeah.
the award you got is too small.
I told you this is what I
Emmanuel was
like to
busy
do.
celebrating.
I know, but this is look at that. This is too small.
When
You
Emmanuel
didn't
was
give
celebrating,
enough
Mr.
effort.
Magdalene and myself were walking. We walked, celebrated,
I
asked
can't.
after the issue,
This is.
and I ran to the field.
Yeah, look.
Thank you, Dopey. Thank you,
How I
Dopey.
is, Mount Cultural. They're beginning to like us. If they see this, they will love it. And I'll ask you the permission to attach this video.
Yeah, you can do anything with the videos, and then because to be honest, I'm doing this for the community, but with others, I'm as well looking for clients that I can be working with. So Dopey will
Now,
stop coming and
look.
asking me.
We'll help you. We'll help you. We'll help
Mr. Mana, we
you.
need to get paid.
Now,
This is my new job. I'll quit my day job.
we want Magdalene to grow in the interest she wants. Look, the Wanderers are looking for African organizations who are helping Africans, who are helping the African Cup.
Emmanuel, is that how we're leaving Sydney FC and joining Wanderers?
Welcome to the Wanderers family.
Look, I mean,
welcome, Maggie.
They're actually looking for people like you. This, don't worry, leave it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. B. Thank you, Mr. B. Now you're adding on to our membership. Thank you, Mr. B.
Emmanuel, you are doing a very good job as well. And Michael, I really like this program. Magdalene wanted to interview me on yesterday. I said, no, I'll wait for 10 p.m. So
Live, huh?
And Coach Ibby too said, okay, let's wait tomorrow. I'll join the podcast.
Yeah.
So I will start disturbing Banner to come and talk African sports here because we'll call you to come and analyze. It's not Zim, it's nothing about our ANSA, but how we should develop our players. We have a lot of talent, but we lack the management and agents to push them.
Let's talk about that too. Let's talk about that too because I'm really passionate about developing talent as well.
Yeah. We'll design a whole program for that. We'll get Coach Ibby, Dopey, and the likes of because I'm seeing future in Alpha to become one of the tycoon, the Mino Raiola of
Oh yes. Oh yes.
All right then, guys, we are going now to Africa. We are going now to Sierra Leone. Don't doubt when you see the pitch we are playing our Premier League. It's a shame. Myself and Emmanuel but don't worry. Let's stop the Sierra Leone Premier League. We'll come back to answer. So Emmanuel, the league has started second week.
Yeah.
I think there will be no matches today due to the World Cup finals. And but a lot of fans have been complaining about the standard of pitches. The matches are being played on a daily basis. It's a shame. But yesterday, one of your teams, All Edwardians, were defeated by 1-0 against the defending champions, Bo Rangers. They're also playing at Dotty Field. I know I don't be the play with small, with a glad for play day. We say today Friday for Dotty, today Friday for Dotty. But we've gone now. It's 20 years beyond what we are expecting. We are still playing in such pitch. Even Liberia are not playing in this kind of pitch anymore. Their leagues. So Emmanuel, what do you think about this situation in Sierra Leone?
Magdalene, this is not a surprising news in Sierra Leone.
Just look at the
And
Premier League player, how dirty he is. He's given man of the match award.
Magdalene, this is not a surprising thing for us in Sierra Leone. And remember earlier on when we before the league started, I told you we're gonna have like challenges in terms of the quality of the pitch in Sierra Leone, most especially when the Premier League is being male and the female are playing alongside, and it will be very, 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 very difficult for the Sierra Leone Premier League board to manage both leagues running at the same time due to lack of proper infrastructure. So me seeing this, Magdalene, as an household, it's not surprising. It's not surprising. But we see presently what the FA is doing. Like they're trying to put up something like a fundraising in terms of renovation of some of this pitch. And we see something like construction for lot A, which will take like 16 weeks. Most of this if infrastructure work will take something like 16 weeks. We're in like something like the football academy turf, the bowl coronation, and even the Kenny Martin field, the Atuga, they're trying to put them into proper structure. But this was what we were saying. They should have done this earlier before the commencement of the league, not when the league is going and then now they want to put up some of these projects. You see, the Premier League board should have a foresight that when this league finish, commencing one before the next year one start, this should have been our set goal. This should have been what we should have achieved before the commencement of the league. But here we see the board, first and foremost, all they were focusing on was how to generate fund to start the league. So even if now you look at it now, they don't have money to start the league. How can they able to solicit fund to maintain or put pitch in
But
good shape?
the guys got 2 billion from the government already.
Magdalene, it wasn't timely. At the time this fund came in, we had only like 1 week towards the commencement of the league. And the board doesn't have any money to like put this field into proper shape before the commencement of the league. So at the time that the fund came in, remember the government is giving this one, I think, in two phases. They've only given one phase, which you're going to give each teams as a startup. Then later some other aspect of maintenance or equipment which they need to use for the first phase of the league. So for me, I think this should be a target, a landmark, a target now for the organizers, the Premier League board, that by next year, some of these pitches we should be seeing them being able, if not an artificial turf, but at least let we get with carpet grass and then when we go to water and small. You see, but having this type of pitch being played as a national league is really disappointing, Magdalene. It's not giving us a good face out there as a nation.
Dopey, do you have anything to say about that?
Okay, I said to do it, Emmanuel against the president and he forced the vote for her. That is not wrong. He's not wrong at all. This is national. Something national is big, Like people are not only watching in Sierra Leone, but also people like us watching across the world. The funds were given. My opinion is they would therefore always small, at least develop one or two pitches where you can have regularly played football. Ever since the main stadium, National Stadium, has been going into construction, the league has found hard to find, accommodating pitches for these guys to play on. These guys are professional footballers. They represent Sierra Leone. Some of them have represented Sierra Leone in various tournaments across the world. So if they're playing in something like this, they don't deserve, to play in a pitch like that. They should be getting the respect they deserve by the government or even the organizers of the Premier League to at least have, if not one or two stable pitches with either fake grass or have a maintenance. You can play week in and week out, and then you can just start small. But I feel like if they would have waited a little bit more, um, before the league started, if we don't wait at least another month, maybe after the Christmas holiday, then if we don't fix one or two filler. Because when they unlock the national stadium, and we don't know when the national stadium is gonna be available for the players to access it again. It's gonna be if not next year, maybe the year after. So now almost 3 years, nobody not go play in that stadium. And Ball Rangers, for me, I feel like they're the only team that have an accessible pitch, and
Yeah.
you don't go see everyday people in the table for going to That almost like they go camera every Saturday. That's a 2 hour
Exactly.
or 2.5 hour journey. For player, you know, go sit down for 2.5 hour, then expect for go play 90 minutes game. It's unexpected. That's how injuries occur. You know,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
they need to do more. They definitely need to do more.
All right. So, Coach Ibby, have you ever played in such field, in such pitch before in your life?
Yeah.
You don't know, you don't know.
Wait. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. In Indonesia, if you go to
Yeah.
Indonesia, their field is like that, but not the national, not the league, but the fields there where some of those guys play is like that. Because I went there Indonesia. I play over there. That's how some of the Africans are trying to get into league there. They play every day, and that field you can only play two-touch football. You can't go and dribble and things like that. You can't play, man. That's difficult to play on, man. It's so difficult.
All right, Alpha, what do you think about that? With short pitches, there is no insurance for players if they got injured. We've had fantastic player. One was Parnes, another one was Sam Johnson. They got injured during league matches, and their career ended like that. No insurance, nothing to pay for. Some of those players are just around now without even playing professional soccer anymore.
Mm.
Look, definitely, man. I think we're not getting the basics right. You know what I mean? This is a shame because I remember since my youth days when we used to play in this kind of fields. And up till now, we're talking about 2022, and we're talking about our Premier League, which is the top league. You know what I mean? And we're still playing in pitches like this. It's very shameful, man. I think this is something that they need to work on. At least we're not saying that every team needs to have their own stadium because we know, like we can't achieve that. But at least let the government invest in something or the FA. And I'm sure FIFA is giving them money for these kind of things, but they're not putting them in the right use, which is letting the country down. Which we need. This is the minimum basic that you need. At least have 4 or 5 decent fields that these guys can play. You can't be playing there. I'm just thinking about how someone can wear like the sport boots and playing in that kind of field. Like, come on.
Uh,
You know what I mean? Like,
Bernard, have you ever played in such field before? Do you have such pitches in Zimbabwe? Because Africa is Africa now. But what was actually shameful was that when we posted those photos on our page, there are other Africans coming in. They were like, "Oh, are you serious? Are you really kidding? Is this a
yeah.
Premier League pitch in 2002?" Bernard, what do you think about that? How do you think we can improve as Africans?
You
The
agree?
highest league in the country. That's not right. But for lower, I mean, leagues, I've played in those kind of fields. These kind of fields, for football development in Africa, they are good because this is why you see most of Africans have got good ball control.
They
And
have they have Musa Tumbo. Those are the fields they know how to play. Do you
yeah,
know Musa
uh,
Tumbo? Have you met him?
I
No.
want to be, I want to be quite frank. I want
Yeah.
to be quite frank. I'm a footballer. I play football competitively. I see these boys how they play football here and their ball control, and they can't play, in those fields. And at the same time, because they never played in those fields, they struggle. Well, those fields teach you how to control properly and how to dodge danger, and but for a top class league, I think there has to be big improvement. I understand the Sierra Leone league hasn't been going on for 2 years or 3 or 4.
Yeah, that was in 7 years. We just
7 years.
So
started
Yeah.
I mean,
3 years ago.
yeah. So I can understand the way they are coming from, but I hope big businesses in Sierra Leone will invest in the fields. I hope it's gonna be as soon as possible to invest in the fields. Yeah.
All right. That's important because a lot of people think it should only be the responsible of the FA or the council, the government. But I think you can see the comeback. You can see other pitches here that are being, you know, responsible for by business people. So we are expecting the same also. Business people can come on board just like Babadi to develop some pitches. All right, away from that, let's come back to ANSA. And I know you guys want to go now to sleep because a lot of us will be waking up at 2 to watch the World Cup finals. That will be the last part of the show. I will ask your opinion about the World Cup matches. But again, to answer Bernard, what's next for ANSA and what should we expect next year?
Okay. Thanks, Magdalene. The first thing is we changed our name from that to African Cup New South Wales.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, the African Cup, we want to see it growing, you know, and getting better. But the only way it can grow and get better is feedback from you guys, honest feedback. I know Emmanuel always comes to me and say, "Come on, man, we need this, we need that." That's very important. Alpha is one of the people as well who come in and other people. So we want Magdalene. I know, um, you know, you are very experienced, yeah, experienced journalist. We respect you. You guys, you are the guys who make us better. Tell us what you want to see. Yes, we might have our own visions, but Ibby, you
Yep.
always criticize. What can make this African Cup better and better is you guys coming up and saying, no, this is wrong, this is right, let's get this way. You can help us to get better. While we have on, to be honest, me, I want to see this competition to be the best competition, a community competition in Australia and in the Pacific Rim. We
Yep.
want players to. I'm happy with Sanjalo playing in Iceland. We've got players like John Roberts, Inking Dews. We've got other players who've gone to Europe. I won't mention here. We want to, from a community level, we want to see a convergence of all Africans, like what
Mhm.
happened this weekend.
I
People said,
think,
"Oh, Zimbabwe don't have support. Ivory Coast, Cape Verde don't have support." But we saw people turning out. You know,
Okay.
They surprise you guys.
sorry, let me just finish. We want to be better in terms of organization, you know, and it's up to you guys to come up with ways we can improve, you know.
All
yeah.
right. Okay. So let me come to you, Ibrahim Sesay. You've heard from Bernard. We're
Mm.
talking about how the competition can improve, and as a coach, what are you expecting from the organizers next year? And I saw your
Mhm.
message. You can take it up from there.
Yeah. Because you guys touched on a lot of some of the talents that's from the under 14s, under 16s. Some talented female players too. There's some there is some out there that are really fast. Some that are good on the ball, and also obviously the men's. I think what would be encouraging and promising is having in visiting us coaches or scouts being present at some of these games, under 14s level, under 16 level. Not to say they have to be at the higher level scouts, but visiting coaches and things like that. It would be. I think it would motivate a lot of the young players coming up, because you do know that it's very hard to get opportunities for some of these young players to break through. A lot of teams are full. A lot of teams are have their own way, but to probably see this talent firsthand may open some doors for some opportunities for the younger players, older players, and females as well.
All right. Okay. Dopey, what's your own take? How do you think the competition should improve next year?
Well, they need to give me a job full time. That's my first. That's my first one because I quit my job. But yes, touching on what Ibby just said, exactly my point. I was about to touch on. The boys that are playing in the tournament now, the first grade, they're established footballers, so they already have a taste of playing in football in Australia in the highest level outside of the African Cup. I think it's time to turn away and give opportunity to the youth. Like Ibi said, bring some coaches in, let them have a look, get this youth and the women, excited, get them more energized, be nervous to impress someone. I know when I'm running, if I see someone in the stand, I say, "Oh, this guy, you get okay, go come else." I don't say that in there. Nobody ever beats me. It brings out a different animal. It brings out a different competitor in you. So just encourage them. Sometimes you don't even have to tell them. After the
Okay.
game, you can just be like, "By the way, that coach was looking at you. He likes
Cape
the way."
Verde, Cape Verde this una player wey dey bien for the una not use am or Jod.
John.
Una get player the way over left.
Oh, John,
So
a full-time worker now.
So, Dopey, are you thinking about what I'm thinking? Like the Africa Cup got a special session for veterans because we are having
Yeah, we
issues
come
with
back with the
veterans and
footballer
new
is
players.
is
That's the problem we
retirement.
are having with some communities. Some people don't want to step back and give the opportunity to the youth because they still want to play. But probably a week or two competition for veterans might be an addition. What do you think about that, Alpha?
Oh
I
yeah,
feel like
that's a very good idea. I remember once I brought that to Mr. Bernard, that we can have at least maybe one veteran, tournament, like maybe let's say in the finals you give them, or maybe in the third place, whatever. Give, like, just select all those, players that are playing this tournament, they make name for themselves, and at least invite maybe one, like Mr. Bernard was saying, to invite maybe Craig Foster to bring their own team, and then one veteran team will just verse them. This will be something, interesting as well for the tournament.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
in terms of seeing what improvement in terms of the tournament, this year, like, we've seen a lot of improvement, but we can still make it better. I mean, by getting better referees. This is always going to be the issue that we're going to be
That
bringing
was
up.
that
I
was
mean,
that was my next point. That was my next point.
okay.
Bernard,
All right. Remember.
what do you think about the area of officiating? Do you get a lot of complaints like previously, or there was a bit of understanding from the team with the decisions referees were making?
Look, the refereeing issue has been an issue for a long time. We use a referees coordinator who um, looks for referees for all summer competitions
Mm.
in this New South Wales. He's the same person. I tried to go behind him to New South Wales football. They directed me to the same guy. Then there's someone who tried again behind our backs to go to New South Wales to get the same referees. The person was referred to the same guy. So what we want to do this year is, most of you guys, you go and watch Premier League games. When you see those referees, I will do the same. Let's talk to them, convince them get a pool of referees, pay more money, of course, because the thing is they want to be paid more. Pay a little bit more money. We look for a coordinator among us themselves to coordinate all the matches, because we don't want to coordinate because people would accuse us of favor. We just want the referees coordinator to get his referees and allocate matches. So I encourage every one of us, wherever we are, identify good referees and we have a pool of our own. Because the guy we are using, he could be sending his friends, to make money and denying better referees. So we don't know. So
All
we have
right.
to change the way we're gonna do things this year.
All right, so Bernard, there was talks. When things happen, people talk, and one of it was people were suggesting that if the African Cup New South Wales can organize a training for referees in the African community. Imagine referees, people who are interested, and started giving them the opportunity to officiate matches, and so the competition can get their own set of referees. And another thing is, like, we have a lot of coaches. What will the association do to help these coaches become professional, become better? Some of them might need level one, level two. Do you have any intention to organize refresher courses or help them get courses through Football New South Wales?
We have a deal with Wanderers to help our coaches, but because of COVID in the past 2 years, we never went up to it. So now that everything is settled, in January, I'm going to meet the Wanderers CEO, talk about the referees, talk about the coaches, and talk about how we can also tap into their New South Wales football the resources. So that's what we are aiming to have our own referees, our own coaches being trained. But we will go through Wanderers, because Wanderers had promised that they will help us to get our coaches equipped. So that's our first step. If Wanderers can't do it, then we have to approach New South Wales football and see how they can help us to get our coaches equipped.
All right, and Coach Ibby made a very important point about getting scouts. The purpose of this competition is to help the youth, the emerging talents. So what's your take on that? Like, started inviting scouts to come around and watch these players and give them the opportunity. We have good players. I was watching John, Kali, is it Tunashe for Zimbabwe? These are young talents. They are very good at what they are doing. The young guy Rahim. These are young talents. We don't want them to play African Cup and later become veterans like my best friend Jabi and Amankwa. We want to see them in the A League. So, what's the plan for ANSA for these emerging youths?
The first step is I went to see the CEO for Wanderers, Scott Hudson. He's a guy who's passionate about the community. I told him, I said, look, we've got a lot of talent. The first place is you guys. We don't want to see other teams from somewhere coming and take the talent which you have. So I want your coaches to come and see our players, because we've got really good players. Then we also had arrangements with SDRRA, Southern Districts, Nikau. He has already come down, but with scouts, they won't announce their arrival and you won't know. And he has already picked up a number for our juniors to play in SD Raiders, and they're not going to pay any money, but we will continue to encourage scouts to come to our games,
Okay.
especially, yeah.
Okay. All right. Quick one, Emmanuel. You started mention earlier that there are things you think should be improved. Can you elaborate more on that before we come to the World Cup analysis proper?
Besides the referee,
Besides the referee, or pull am there, we don't answer the referee question.
Come on.
Uh, yeah, and Magdalene, I think first and foremost, and you already highlighted that aspect, and we need the media aspect to be well addressed, and in terms of this competition, because for this competition or tournament to be more colorful, the media has a major role to play. The English Premier League, the Italian League, the Bundesliga that we're all celebrating today, the media played a vital role. So I think Mr. Banner need first and foremost to address the media aspects. We need a more structural media. For example, you talk about the press box, and last year we saw something, Magdalene, like at the end of every match, there was an award being made, like the player of the match. There was something presented to players. And this year we didn't see it into effect. There was no continuity into it. Maybe there was no sponsor towards that. And also there was not like a press box wherein man of the match or player of the match will have a word or two to say. Because there's one thing I realized, Magdalene, most of our players are not good, of our brothers or players are not good when it comes towards facing the cameras. They tend to shy away. And if you're taking sports as a career, media is part of you. Because now we see what happened with one of the female tennis players, I won't mention her name now, that allowed the media to affect her psychologically. So now, as you're growing in sports, they are encouraging you to take media as part of your career. And this is a landmark for our brothers and sisters to learn on how and what to say when it comes towards media. And another thing again, Mr. Badaren, we want to give some values to our managers in the tournament, because these are the guys that are pouring their resources, their time, their energy. And mostly they come to all this game with equipment in their cars. There's no parking lot for them. Some of them have to struggle to park, to take off their kits for these boys to play. So I think we need to start to give them some amount of appreciation for their service towards the beauty of this tournament. Like create a parking lot for each team that are playing for their managers and their kits. They can easily come park at those locations, take off the kits. We should give them the respect a bit of what they're doing towards in the community. And a key thing that I'm looking at, Mr. Bernard, the tournament is already ended. What next? What the benefits for our borders? Because I've been observing this for years but passed by. I think if the organizers can form like a draft system. A draft system is whereby you look into the entire tournament data system and you look for the best players. You can bring them together. And within that bringing them together, we call them that you can draft them. And if it is 25 players or 30 players, Mr. Banner, you can take these players, you form something like maybe an African 11
Yeah.
or African best. You send them to play friendly matches, Sydney United, Wanderers, Central Coast Mariners, Newcastle Jets, Canberra's. If they're able to play these friendly matches, they do a tour. Trust me, Mr. Van, I'm sure at the end of these friendly matches, one or two of our brothers will be scouted. Some of these teams, so yeah, we can sign this player, we can take this player. And by so doing, what will happen? It will create something like an easy transition for our junior players, because it will serve as a landmark, and our tournament will be like an emblem. So it will be now an easy breeding ground to sports players. But if you watch the trainer, the boys are just coming in, they play, and they go off the radar. Until when the African tournament is coming back, most of them try to give themselves a 3-month intensive training to play the tournament, after which they're done about it. And most of them, when they finish, for them to have like serious clubs to play effective football, they couldn't. There are many potentials we are seeing in the tournament that do have very good footballing clubs to play.
Yeah.
So if we have a draft system wherein we can create a link up for them into these professional clubs, if not even in the A League, but in the NPL, it will help our borders and and them to realize that what they are doing is not a waste of time.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So I think this is, I think, my own key suggestion. I want to see the tournament move into.
Yep.
The chairman has spoken.
Thanks,
All right.
Emmanuel. Look,
Quickly, I'll just get your thoughts on the World Cup finals later in the morning, and then we'll come back and say bye bye. But firstly, let me start with you, Dopey. Argentina versus France. What's your take?
Oh, for me, I'll go for France. Because if France win, Africa wins. So I think just to see that a country has never won a back-to-back, or maybe they have. I think Brazil. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure. I don't think a country's ever won the World Cup back-to-back. I know a country has won it multiple times, but I don't think they've ever won it, back-to-back. So that's history in the making for the French nation. Kudos to the manager because they've had him for a long time. And he's done well in terms of putting these boys together for another year, and the fact that they're still missing a few key main target players in the French camp. They've still done very well in making it into the final. But Argentina also, don't forget, they have done tremendously in making it into the final of the World Cup. I know this is Messi's probably last year. I think after if the guy win the game now night against I already know in my mind. He's done tremendous for football in general. As a kid watching him play when I was young, up and coming, and still now, he's done amazing job for football. So I think we should not. I know I want France to win, but I think we should not disrespect Argentina. We should not let them shy away because they get good attack. So
Okay. So it's gonna be Mbappe and Dembele and Giroud
versus
against the
Alvarez,
Argentina
Messi.
defense. Yeah. Emmanuel, we saw the lad Alvarez. It's been fantastic for Argentina. For me, I think they get the attention we need. So what's your take, and what do you think will happen at the end of the match? Argentina playing France in the finals.
And I think Alvarez, before he left Manchester City for the World Cup, Guardiola told him one thing, that I see you as a finalist. And it's a dream. And it was a word that he underestimated, but now a reality. He said, I see you as a finalist. I have confidence in you. And today we see the outstanding performance is shown in the World Cup. And this is going to be another interesting World Cup, Magdalene. I think both nations have met 3 times. Argentina have won twice and France have won once. The only time France were able to defeat Argentina was in 2018 with the 1-4-3. And in 1978, Argentina won 2-1, and in 1930, Argentina won 1-0.
That's a long
So the
time
French,
ago.
yeah. so the French are trying to have a par whereby they want to have it 2-2, 2 wins for both sides. But this loss for Argentina will cost them a lot because Lionel Messi is almost in his retiring phase of football. And with him winning this World Cup means he's going to make history and break history.
Wow.
So therefore, it's a must win for him. We saw what he did with that squad in the Copa America.
Okay.
They were underestimated. And at the end of the day, they took the victory. They started this tournament very slow. But as they keep on moving on, it's like they're a dynamo. As they keep on pedaling, running, they develop the electrolytes and the charges, and they keep on going. the light become more brighter. So that's what we're seeing in this Argentina team.
Okay.
And if you observe Lionel Messi, the way he plays, off the ball, you don't see much of him.
He's
So he's
getting a
been
lot of
able to
penalties.
reserve his energy. But when you see him on the ball, it's very dangerous. Because why? A lot of his energy is being reserved by virtue of his
It's
age.
walking around the pitch looking for the
The
ball.
pitch. Yeah.
So Alpha, what you say? Alpha had you a Frenchman. Is that true?
No. This for this game here, I'm gonna be supporting Argentina because it's my team. You know what I mean? We
But the
hope.
last time you told me you are Senegal, England.
No,
How do you play now?
since kid, I've been supporting Argentina and England. Those are the two teams I support in terms of. But whenever Africa is playing in the World Cup, I support all African teams as usual. You know what I mean? So no difference. I think this game is going to go to. I think France will not be able to make that back to back. So it's going to be Argentina all the way.
All right. So Bernard, what's your take on the World Cup finals later in the morning?
Look, this is a very difficult match. That's like Cape Verde versus Zimbabwe. But yeah, look, I support France, and I would like them to win, but they have a handicap of 8 players or 9 not be in the squad. Argentina, they are not a really good squad. They are just rough, and they have Messi on their side. And a lot of people want Messi to win, to crown him the GOAT, which I don't think he is.
There is the GOAT.
I will say this. You know, there's a video which was released, which I can share with you guys.
Yeah.
You know, when people analyze that all these players we see today, all they are doing, which fascinates you, Ronaldo, Chop, or this, that, Pele did them before them.
So for you, Pele is the GOAT.
Yes. Besides winning 3 World Cups, all these skills you see today, which fascinate you, he did them before. I'm going to send all of you that video.
Oh, yeah.
All Ronaldo chops, all this, all the skills you see, all the bicycle kicks, because we are a new generation, right? When we see these things, we say, "Oh wow!" But even Roberto Carlos free kick, I noticed the Roberto Carlos free kick, which Suarez did. Pele did it in 1966. So these Brazilians are clever people. They will go back to they respect their those people who came before them. But the best Brazilian squads were when Pele, Garincha, Didi, Revelino came in. So these people are clever. They go back and copy what these people did. They know about the history. But us who don't know about the history, we say, wow, what a skill. It's been done before. So I'm going to share with you guys that video. And you will see Pele is the GOAT.
So
I know a lot of you guys want Messi to win to make him a GOAT. Yes.
It's only Emmanuel and Alpha want Messi to win.
Yeah. You know, Maradona, they want Messi. Messi can equal Maradona, but can't equal Pele. How
these two people comes from England to Argentina with the Falkland Island War? That's what I'm thinking. Because we are not meeting. Argentina and England people, we are not meeting at a point. So, quick one. What will be your prediction, Bernard? What will be the scores? I know not all of us are good in predicting, but probably you are more experienced.
This is a very hard match, but I think France 2-1.
Okay. Dopey, your prediction?
3-1 France, 3-1.
Mbappe the score?
Oh, I'll tell you that the score. Giroud, the best player of France. Dembele, with Thiago.
Okay, I don't mark him. Now $10 they buy it back.
I don't have to pay that last $10 too.
He owe me one. He owe me one.
So una all two, I don't say that una all two una they can pick. Now I would have loved Coach Ibby's assessment or prediction, but I think it's behind the scene. Coach Ibby is here. Coach Ibby, quickly, what's your take in the match between Argentina and France? Who do you think will be lifting the trophy?
I think the way the game's going to pan, Argentina's going to have more of the possession of the ball. France are obviously going to go on the break, and I'm thinking it's going to go to penalties, and I think Argentina will win on penalties. I just think it's their time. I think it's just their time. Like it looks fall in place. I think Argentina will win on penalties. I think it'll be 1-1, and it'll go to penalties. That's just my prediction. Yeah.
Dopey is 3 against you, and
no problem.
Coach, do you think the media pressure between Messi and Mbappe will influence the match?
Well, like somebody touched on earlier, there's a lot at stake for Messi to win. I think he knows he's gonna know that going into the game, and he's gonna play his best football. The only problem is it going to be enough? Because the way Argentina, when they turn it on, they're very hard to stop. It's going to be very interesting in that sense.
Yeah, all right, Coach, but for me, you are the GOAT. Coach, you are the GOAT because you won 2 trophies yesterday. Something Messi has never done in his life. So win 2 trophies in a day.
Yeah, Coach.
All right, we're about to go now. Me, I'm not going to sleep. I'll be behind my computer fixing the issue I was having and wait for the match, but I know a lot of people are going to sleep and wake. So before we go, Coachy, what will be your message to the Sierra Leonean fans? A lot of people, in fact, kudos to the Sierra Leone. It was one of the most watched match that I streamed. The girls' match got over 2.5k views, and
wow,
a lot of comments as well. So thanks to the viewers. It means that we are following the team down from Sierra Leoneans all across the world, and a lot of questions was coming in. But what I told them that all of those guys you see are Sierra Leoneans. They are born by Sierra Leoneans in Australia.
A lot of national anthem. Nobody don't see Cape Verde anthem.
No, we want so, Coach, people asking questions also, can these guys represent Sierra Leone? Yes, we have Simi. We have Simi Satu. I think she's capable of representing Sierra Leone in any tournament. So what will be your message to the fans, and what should we expect next season from the Sierra Leone team? Coach, your mic. Yeah.
Maybe I think you're on mute.
No, it's not showing mute here. All right, so let's go. So, Dopey, thanks for your support always. What thing will be round up message to viewers, and what should we expect next season in the African Cup?
Maybe before I start, thank God the 2 manager of Cape Verde, and I just want to know when is for going to Cape Verde. You understand? But I don't apply for my passports. They come and because the boy there, they see the anthem, they see commander with the cham. Only for go to slow go land, don't see where you take. But yeah, look, it's been a pleasure. Maggie, it's been a pleasure to work alongside you. You're teaching me something, making me expose myself in terms of, I don't want to be a media personality, but I just love helping and showing love and support to the boys, because I feel like they deserve everything they got yesterday, winning that tournament. And, I know it's only the beginning, now they've tasted. The hard thing about victory is once you taste it, you want more. So
yeah,
I know the coaching staff and the boys are hungry for another one, and many more will come. So I just want to say thank you to you and Mr. Banner. Don't forget about my job, because Central League.
All
thank you.
right.
You got the job already.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So, Bernard, what will be your roundup message to the fans of all the 20 teams, and how will you appreciate their effort in ensuring we get a successful end of the tournament?
Look, I'm going to thank all the teams, not 20 but 38.
Yeah.
20 are
I
men,
always forgot.
yeah, 6 are women, and the other 12 are the youth. I'm gonna thank them for believing in us and coming to this African Cup. To the journey is for us together, and I wish them Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Yeah, and encourage them to follow Cape Verde. For them to be
Good.
successful.
Yeah.
Seriously, I admire the way. Uh, Look, I'm the African Cup president. Unfortunately, Zimbabwe can't have my, you know, time. But to be quite frank, I really like the way Cape Verde were doing their things. It's excellent. You know, it's second to none. I know the South Sudanese are also on top of their game, but these guys raised their bar. You know, but I wish every team which participated in our tournament um, happiness and prepare well for next year. And Magdalene, I want to thank you again for the
Yeah, don't
excellent.
worry. Yeah, for my own part, I'm trying to. I will upgrade my camera before the next tournament. That's the only
No,
problem.
no, don't worry about the camera. It's the heart. You know, it is the heart. Even the God who is in heaven, is looks at the heart. It's the heart we look at.
Yeah.
No cameras. All this is fake. A camera can be fake. Media. I've been telling people, media is important. Emmanuel, of course, our media hasn't been good, you know, and Magdalene knows everything about our media. But media can be deceptive at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'll take an exception to that. Don't go there. I will fix.
No, don't worry about media.
The
Media is
media,
nothing.
the
Media, we can play
media, the
football.
media,
We can
the
play
media
football
messed up
without media.
Ronaldo's tournaments already. It's the
I
media
know,
that
but
messed up Ronaldo.
but we can play football without media. We can
Yeah.
gather our community without media. Media can be manipulated. It's deceptive. So
Mr. Bana, we told you we expect this generation, we need the media.
I know, but it can be deceptive.
That's
I'm
true.
paid. I'm paid. I'm
Don't
paid.
make me pull
Yeah.
up the
This
And
one, you-
Emmanuel, Michael, Ibby, Carl is not there. You guys, I don't know how I can thank you. You've done a fantastic job. For me, to be quite frank, the Zimbabwean team, someone was telling me and saying, I want to talk about the Zimbabwean team anymore. It's off camera.
Yeah.
They were telling me to give up.
oh,
Hey, they said, give up. Why are you wasting your time? But I said, look, I'm keeping this for our children. And I was happy. I have two of my sons playing
Yeah.
in the grand finals. One of them, unfortunately, he got injured early on.
Yeah.
So yesterday, Jamba, the coach, gave him a few minutes in the last minutes. But I'm a proud dad because two of my kids were playing
Yeah.
okay.
in the grand final.
Yeah.
How good is that?
That's good.
All right. Thank you,
Yeah.
Bernard. The
Best
African
thing.
Cup has climaxed, but this will not be your last time in the show. We'll be calling you to come and give us analysis. Thanks for the time. Alpha, when are we having the barbecue celebration?
Well, look, we're
Tonight.
preparing for
Tonight.
that. It's going to be a massive one.
Tonight?
It's going to be a massive one. So we need all you guys to come down and support the boys. We're going to celebrate this. It's not just one barbecue. There's going to be a few happening. So me and Emmanuel working behind the scene, but we can't share details now. But once we get to conclusion, Magdalene, for sure, you're going to have that first invitation to come down.
Okay,
Oh, what about me?
Mr. Banner is always.
Mr. Bala is always, you know that. You're gonna start,
Okay, thank you.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
it going to be
We'll be back at Jones Park again doing our usual stuff. For the boys that are watching, come down from tomorrow. We're gonna start again as usual.
So you guys are not resting. Okay, I can understand the World Cup is coming. But quick one, what should we expect from Cape Verde next season? More players? Are we seeing John and the other guys coming in? Or
Definitely.
you are loaning them to a particular
Look, Kevin, you're gonna see us much better and much stronger again because we're gonna defend that title. Definitely.
All right, thank you. It's a tip for some people somewhere else. All right, let me go to Coach Ibby. Coach Ibby, can you just continue from where you stopped? Coach Ibby's been freezing every now and then, like Kali before.
okay? So, yeah,
Emmanuel, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah. the guys are still celebrating.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Coach Ibby, you have to go to bed now. Yeah, Coach Ibby don't freeze again.
it's been so strange to celebrate. I can hear you guys.
Yeah, we can hear you, but you're coming broken. All right,
Yeah.
Emmanuel, I'll come to Emmanuel to round up, and then we'll get Coach Ibby probably.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Emmanuel, your round up word, and next week I'll get you here again. Next week we're hopefully hosting
Yeah.
is it Tamba and Asan?
Yeah. And
I'll
Magdalene,
reconnect.
thank you once again for having me, and what a good program today. And it was a long journey throughout this tournament, and finally it has concluded. And I want to say thanks to the management and for their good work. I think one key person again, Magdalene, that we need to appreciate for me in this tournament, and it's Mr. T, because in the background he has been there
Asan, Koto Asan.
to master most of the scenes, like giving advice, trying to caution us psychologically that violence in sport is no more acceptable. So mostly he normally put us down. Boys, don't be too over emotional. Accept the game and play it. And that was a good one for me this year. And I really appreciate his output towards the service of those boys.
Oh,
And the Max Tribune Sports.
oh.
What a tremendous work you guys put up this
We
year.
are coming big time next year. We're coming big
Boy,
time.
we are coming.
So
We are
be,
coming.
so be sincere. I really appreciate the service. You guys brought in a special flavor
Emmanuel,
in
have
this
you
entire
watched the replay
tournament.
match? Have you watched the replay match? Have you shared? Because the
Mag,
boys were asking for the link. But Dopey, you know what? Emmanuel is not on Facebook, so I don't know how he's watching the match.
Is there the replay? I'll have to
well,
watch it.
mostly
Yeah.
it's on YouTube.
Coach, I sent
And
the link on the girls.
it's
I watched the
group.
replay today, and yeah, it was
the
really
link for the girls is on the African
Oh,
Nations
yeah.
Cup New South Wales page.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I watched
Yeah.
the first. I was there the whole game, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's good to analyze where.
Facebook. You just watch it on Mark Tribune Sport. It's much easier.
Yeah.
But you guys have to follow my page now. You guys have to support my page. The players.
Yeah, always. Yeah, we always
I know
do.
Coach Ibi is following me. Alpha, Dopey. Dopey, I don't know say Dopey they follow me on Adelaide I go know. Bernard, are you following my page?
Is this on Facebook?
Bernard,
Yeah.
always-
If it's on Facebook, I'm following you.
Yeah,
No,
it's there.
you are following me on my personal account. We are friends.
Okay. No, don't worry. This is easy. Then I'll follow you on this one. It's easy. Don't worry about this. Well, we really appreciate. Seriously, we want people who really help us to get where we want to get to. We want the African Cup to be better than I know people who think it's a joke. We want it to be better than the New South Wales football.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes. Uncle B. Well said. Well said.
Because
Yeah. Yeah.
let's face it, we
Yeah.
have the strength. We have the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have the people are our biggest asset.
Yeah.
You know, you saw what happened yesterday. People were saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, Cape Verde and Zimbabwe, we won't have numbers."
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the
no.
venue was jam packed. There wasn't enough space for people to even
Space.
sit.
Yeah,
You know.
we're numbers.
Yeah, you know, yeah, that's so true.
They always label us Africans, but us Africans don't understand. Because when they say Africans, we want to say I'm Sierra Leone and I'm Zimbabwe. They always say these Africans. So as Africans, we have the power. We have the power to change the narrative in football in this country.
Mm.
We can't change it.
Yeah, we'll change it.
No,
We
exactly,
can.
Magdalene. And Mr. Banner, what you just said is correct.
Yeah.
Magdalene, yesterday, even the police were there. Guess what? The boys were well behaved. The police
Yes.
were, instead of them manning the security, the people, they were enjoying the game.
Yes.
They were having fun. They were entertained.
Yeah.
And this is what we want to continue to see in the community.
Yeah.
Yeah, but before Coach Ibby come in, Emmanuel and Alpha, why won't win Asala Benike could have sing? We are not sing Portuguese song.
Well,
Well,
we'll get for
Una
Gboyah
dey-
to talk.
una dey give-
Magdalene, that's like it's an anthem for us.
Yes.
It gives us that special vibe
find your-
and
find your-
feeling. It shows us where we started from.
You know what I like yesterday when you guys won? You celebrated with
Yeah.
both flags. That was emotional for me.
You know what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, because you use 2 flags.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. I mean, we love this.
we use the
Before the kickoff, when they were coming for the lineup, they used the 2 flags as well.
Yeah.
And
be
Cape
quite
Verde
frank,
set record.
To be quite
Magdalene.
fair, Magdalene, this tournament is
Yesterday-
about community.
Yesterday, for making it more special, would they eat the bendy cake? They would dance bendy cake back.
Exactly.
Benny cake.
Oh.
Hey, back when they make for bendy cake, then counter with the chairman.
Yes.
Now, you know what happened? You guys have raised the bar because Mark proposed.
Yes.
one person will hold the sign wrong.
That was the highlight. You know,
Yes.
sorry, I'll share.
And you know, I caught the highlight, but because of I cannot use my other computer, the main computer, so I got a lot of highlights with the goals, the sing from the Cape Verde fans. There was a very good situation when Cape Verde the fans will be singing, Cape Verde, go Cape Verde, and then the other fans from Zimbabwe will take it up.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. So what I'm
Yeah.
doing now, I'm gonna force my boyfriend to propose in the Olympics. I'm going.
Ooh.
You know what, Magdalene, this proposal, Mark, when it came to us, they say, "Oh, we want to propose, let Mark propose when the teams get the trophy,
The medals.
I said,
Yeah.
no. Once you give the team everything, no one cares. The loser will be disappointed. They leave.
That's
The
true.
winners will jump in. Let's do it when I want to share the secret. Let's do it
Yeah.
when everyone is paying attention. When the teams line up, because we are forcing them to pay attention.
Yeah.
Because
That's
we want to
true.
know what happened next.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
We
idea.
want to know what so everyone will just have to pay attention. So
And everyone
Sarah
was
has to
watching.
become better. But don't tell
She
you
knew
what.
nothing.
I contributed to Mark. Mark.
Yeah.
You know what? Mark is going to invite every one of us in that venue yesterday because
Sure.
We've watched it, we celebrated, we clapped. So we need to eat their dinner as well.
The mayor
was there.
and excited.
And the mayor as well. All right, guys, thank you. But quick one, Coach Ibby, can you round up on your guys? Yeah, let's hear from Coach Ibby on the girls and what next for the team next year.
Well, the girls is back to back. We're looking to go 3s in a row. Having saying that, we're going to build on the squad, bring in some strong players. I already have inquiries of players coming in. So yeah, just going to filter the best and then build the squad from there. And if we can make it 3 in a row, this will be history.
All right, I think Zim and Cape Verde coming in, and that Cape Verde team I want to see.
Oh yes.
Ibby, better be ready, right?
All right, thank you very much, guys. Thanks to Molai, youth coach in Sierra Leone. If anyone has something that they can offer our guys in Sierra Leone, just contact me. I'll keep it for them. Like use boots, use vest, use anything football, balls or whatever. We can get them to them. I got my guys in Freetown, they would love to receive those stuff from you. Thanks to Molai, and also there's a coach in Scotland that is supporting an academy in Sierra Leone for goalkeepers. They call them Elite Academy Sierra Leone. He actually donated stuff for them last week, and the boys, we are so happy to use those things. Thanks to Coach Andy in Scotland and the boys, Idrissa Kalon in Freetown. We'll get you in the show next week, Idrissa, to tell us more about how the academy has been going. Also, it's time to promote our Coach Ibby. Coach Ibby, I told you last time, I'm always at your doorstep whenever you need me for clinical football with the articles, videos, anything you need, let me know. I'll give my full support. Even if you are playing a friendly match, let me know. I'll come and stream that match through the page for you. Thanks to Dopei. Emmanuel, as usual, will be here, and Alpha will be always here to watch and support. And thanks to Bernard for the support and the opportunity. I'm truly honored. I didn't expect that yesterday, but it was great. And you know what? My name is also on that medal. That I took it to Bankstown today. I was like, this.
Magdalene, if I can say this, you mean a lot to us. You mean a lot to us, Magdalene. Emmanuel, obviously, the supporting act, Michael. You guys, I really want. I don't know how I can join you guys for analysis. I'm proud. Okay, guys, can I say goodbye?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bernard. Thanks for a good tournament this year.
How far? I want to come for the barbecue, eh?
It's got chicken and rice there.
Definitely.
Don't miss me, man. I'm bringing your check this week. You won't have the excuse, guys. I'm bringing the checks to these guys this week. Okay, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Uncle B.
Bye.
All the best.
All right. All right, Alpha. Thank you, Maggie. Dopey! No, Dopey. Get 10.